All right. All right. Well, thanks for joining us today, everyone. Sorry about it's a Friday edition of Debbie and myself. So we got hung up. Lots of things going on here at Century 21 Homestar. Busy. So we had to postpone a little bit, but we got it in during the week. That's all that matters. Same week. We didn't miss out.
Yep, we got
so
it.
So today we're going to go over some call hangups, not hangups of hanging up the phone, but hangups that you have about making phone calls and prospecting and getting a hold of people. So we're just going to go over, won't keep it too long today, just a few slides of things to think about when prospecting. So let me go here. Let's start sharing my screen. There we go. And then press play, and there I am. So overcoming real estate call hangups. So just 3 points here that we'll go over, and I'll fill in some blanks, but I'll let you start. Deb, go ahead.
So nobody likes to do the cold call, right? I mean, it doesn't matter who you're calling, they just don't like to do it because it's all in your head. It's all in your head. People don't mind talking to you, so you do have to get out of that and put yourself in a positive light. And when you're talking to people, you can start with the people that you know when you're making your calls, and that'll make it a lot easier for you to actually get through the call when you're doing it. Choose friendly icebreakers when you're talking to them too, so you don't have to start right into your spiel. But overall, it's not that hard. A lot of times you're going to get the voicemail anyway, so you're just going to leave a short little voicemail and hopefully they'll call you back and stuff. But just remember that our business is a relationship business, and it's not just sending things to people and having them sign them and send them back. We have to physically talk to people, so whether it's talking to them on the phone or talking to them in person, get your mind in the right mindset. What do you feel about that, Tony?
Oh yeah, definitely. And there's some of the other tips I tell agents when calling, and I just got off the phone with an agent and coaching them, is that when prospecting and making these calls, is making sure you have some type of connection with people. So it could be, it doesn't matter as long as it's a connection. Like kind of jokingly, I say you're calling someone and they're your best friend's brother's cousin's neighbor, So years ago, one of the things that always connected with me in a sales class was when you call someone, you don't just say, "Hi, this is Tony Geraci with Century 21 Homestar." You call and you say what your connection is. "Hey, hi, this is Tony Geraci with Century 21 Homestar. I'm your cousin's neighbor's, best friend." So you already told them the connection that you have with them and why you're calling them. Not that you don't want to tell them at the end of a conversation or at the end of them upset because he called you, that where that connection is. So get out of your head that they're going to be upset with you because you have some type of connection with you. Someone gave you their number. You didn't pick it out of the blue. So explain that with your first initial sentence or two with people. It's like, "Hey, I'm calling you because your friend's neighbor gave me your number." So they know the connection there and they know it's not a cold call. So do you agree with that, Deb? Is that sound like
Yes, absolutely I do, because that's what I'm talking about. If you're calling people that are closer to you, and then once you get used to talking to those people, your fears are going to go away a little bit more. So then you can talk to those people that you don't absolutely know. And the next one is going to be why or how you can do that. So if you want to go to the next slide, we're going to talk about hang up number 2 is you don't have a system. So put your system into place of what you're going to say. I'm going to give you a couple different icebreakers here to try and help you along with that way. So maybe you're letting them know about a new place or a community event that's going on. Maybe you're going to be there, or maybe you had tickets not tickets, I'm sorry. Maybe you had some kind of thing on social media, for instance, where you were doing a raffle and you were giving away tickets to the fair. You know, hey, did you see that I have a raffle going on social media? You can win tickets to the fair. If you want to go to the fair, go to my social media, connect with me, and you can sign up there. That's a good way to do that. I know a couple people that are actually doing something like that to try and reach out to people that they don't know, and it seems to be working.
Yeah,
Maybe suggest a service provider that they might want to use, whether it's not necessarily a bank or a lender, but maybe you know vendors like a plumber or electrician or someone who's remodeling the house. Uh, if you happen to know them from social media and that's where you got their contact information from, mention that special event that you've seen on social. Hey, I saw that blah, 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 just graduated from college. How excited are you? Or
right.
maybe they got a new job or something like that. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, definitely. And then everything you just said and putting that into your notes of when you call people, so you could see what you're talking about, and having just a system of taking notes. So if you know somebody, like you mentioned, if they were you were calling about a raffle that you had somewhere, and you got a lead from them, they got on your prospecting list because they were at a fair. Obviously, you got to talk about that kind of thing. If this is a friend of a friend of a friend and you have notes of them, you have a system like, okay, I talked to him last time about something. So you have to see what you talked about last time. So you're either adding to what you said last time, following up on what you talked about last time, or not saying the exact same thing. So you're not talking, not sounding like a broken record, saying the same thing you did a month ago or 2 months ago or 3 months ago, kind of like the same sales pitch. So, and then your different example, your different attributes, your different things that you do best, have a list of that. So you're telling people, and you could say, hey, you told them this about yourself the last time you talked. Now I'm going to tell them about this about myself, and the next time I tell them to tell this, like a numbered list. Example, like when we make recruiting calls and trying to find agents, a lot of agents might be watching this, they recruit you, we have a list. We have, okay, when the first call we talk about this, the second call we talk about this value, this third we talk about this value. So each time we're following up with agents trying to recruit, we have different talking points. We have about 9 different ones that we want to go over, and a lot of those are in messages, voicemail messages. So hopefully that gives you an idea. You're just having a system of what you're going to say, not even just a physical system.
Right. And always keep yourself in an upbeat tone of voice. Think positive, visualize that you're going to be successful with that as well. And don't take it personally if they can't talk to you right then. I do have some scripts available to our agents if they want them. All you have to do is contact me and I can give them to you. So the next one we're going to talk about here is hang up number 3 is no time or not consistent. Now this all falls back on you guys, right? So, I don't have time to make calls. I can't do it. I just don't have time to do it, because you're afraid to, right? Because if you are doing what I tell you to do and you're doing time blocking, or what Tony tells you to do, and time blocking out your day, you will have the time to do it. And a call doesn't take that much. We're not telling you to have a lengthy hour conversation with people. We're telling you to touch base so that they know that you care. Okay, it's
Yeah,
all about
no.
being caring.
Also, just when you're calling people, said, hey, I just don't want to interrupt your day. I just wanted to give you a quick call. Even so, you could say, like, thought I might get your voicemail. If you're busy, I'll be happy to reschedule. I don't want to take up too much of your time. And they'll tell you, oh, I don't have much time, or yeah, I have time to talk. So be ready for that. But yes, you have to do things consistently. Example of calling and following up with people, it has to be consistent. You should know when you're going to follow up with them next time. You should be within a few seconds of when you hang up the phone, or after talking to them, or while you've left a voicemail, when you're going to follow up with them next and what you're going to say next time. And just consistency of it works. It works. It's just it's a simple system. It's simple and hard to do, but of doing it. But to jump back, one other thing about hangups of being worried about people. In today's day and age, it's so less than it was. I've said this before in other videos. Man, imagine the stress of calling somebody, and you can only call them when at home. Between maybe 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock, you had 2 to 3 hour window, and all the other people in their lives were trying to call them at the same time because people worked. They didn't have their cell phones. They couldn't talk to people. So when they got home at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, they had to eat dinner. They had to talk to everybody they wanted to talk to within that short period of time, and to watch their TV shows that they watch, not stream them anytime, day or night. They're only on at a specific time. So imagine that stress. And when people picked up and they didn't know who was calling. And when they got the phone call, they thought, oh man, this is one of my friends, one of my family members, and I'm calling about real estate. And they didn't want to tie up the line because they didn't have caller ID or didn't have caller waiting where people could click over. So it would just be busy. So having a conversation with somebody, worried about if someone couldn't get through to them and if someone was trying to get a hold of them. Imagine that stress in calling. Today, there is no stress. That's the whole point I'm making. It should be no stress. When you call somebody, if they don't have you programmed in their phone and they're picking up the phone, they know the risk. They know it's someone that they don't know they're going to pick up. And they know that they're not going to miss a call if another one comes in. And two, if they do pick up the phone and it's someone that you've been calling on forever, they probably should have you stored in their phone. They know it's you calling them. So the stress of the hang up of not calling people, it's the lowest it ever should be ever before. So just want to say that. But
yep, that's true. Also, along the lines of this one of not being consistent or no time, using your time block and using your calendar and using your CRM, you can put in your CRM the steps that you've done with this person so far, and it will prompt you on when you need to call them. So for instance, with Moxie Works, every single day when you go into Moxie Engage, it pops up a calendar of 5 people that you can contact today. And then you look at it and it will tell you the 5 people that you need to contact. And what is it that you're going to do with them? Do you need to send them an email, or do you need to make a call to them, or do you need to send them a text? If you're doing all of the things and you're sending them a piece in email, and then your next thing is to call them the following week, you have the reason for calling them because you're going to be prompting about what I sent to you in an email. Or if you're using mailers, and some people are still using mailers, you can say, hey, did you happen to notice the thing about credit repair that I sent you in the mail the other day? I'm just touching base about that to see if you had any questions, if you needed a good repair company or something. And when you are calling about that, like he said, make sure you have all your stuff in front of you so that you can rattle on in case they do want to talk about that thing. But it's all about building your own confidence. And the more people that you talk to and do, the better you're going to be at your calls. It's not something that happens overnight. Some people are real gifted and can talk to anybody on the phone about anything. Some people have to have structure, like me. I have to have structure. I got to know what I'm talking to people about, or I stumble through. I stumble through when we're doing our videos too, but we're all human, right? So just remember that everybody's human, and you may have a thing where somebody catches you off guard when you're calling them and they ask you a different kind of question and you're like, but then you'll fall right back into whatever the answer is. So don't make it something it's not, I guess, is my point on that.
I agree. All right, well, those are 3 things to think about, but now we got to jump into our CE, and now we have a website that you could go to to get all of them. So if you just go to freeohioce.com, we'll go to our web page, our Century 21 webpage, and we'll have the links there for any of these classes. So we're trying to make it easy for you, anybody watching this, of where to go and having the links there on that. And then and it helps me out, so I don't have to make sure all my links are right in my emails, because I know there's always one wrong, or I got a wrong date or something on this. But I think these are the one question I had a couple of agents for some reason, core ethics. I had two agents, it's weird, email me today asking if this is the core agency class that they have to take. So I think that some people might be getting confused between agency and ethics, maybe. And so there's three, again, to remind you, three core classes: core ethics, core fair housing / civil rights, and core law. So those are the three that you need, because I think, because some other online places might call them a little bit different, but you got to ask them which one, if this is the right one. Because I think I haven't had anybody in a while, but I know I had agents that instead of taking three different ones, they took two of one because it seemed different. So make sure you got that. You don't want to get the day before your birthday to find out you have the wrong class.
Yeah, right. And even though it says freeohioce.com, some of the classes you may have to pay for. So that's just the name of the website.
Right, exactly.
They're
Well,
not
there's
always
some will
free.
be free.
Yeah, some will be free, but some you might have to pay for there.
Yeah, so you can see on this, and then also when you click on the link, it'll tell you right away if it's and Mike uses Eventbrite, I think it is.
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah.
You'll see if you have to pay, you have to pay, but most of them should be free, with at least half of them through Hesh or John Dewey on that. And last,
so this video was supposed to be on Tuesday, but it doesn't matter because it's still it's still National Soft Ice Cream Day, which is tomorrow. So you still could post it out to everybody, or you could actually invite them to go out and get ice cream with you, because it is still hot right now. Maybe treat them to a small cone or something like that. I know I was helping with somebody, they wanted to do an ice cream social type thing where they rented an ice cream truck and they gave out little cards that said one free soft serve, and then they could click it, they could get maybe a couple different ones, and it had their information on the back of it. If you have more children, you get 3 soft serve ice creams. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money, you guys. You do have to pay the ice cream person for it, but if you're sticking to a specific thing and it's just like one small dish of ice cream, a small sundae or a small cone or something, it's well worth it. People care about that kind of stuff, that you're taking the time to invite them to something like that, and it gets your name out there too.
I agree. Well, that's it for today, everybody. I appreciate, let's see, stop sharing. There we go. Well, we appreciate your time here on a Friday, but we'll be back on Tuesday next week. And then remember, reach out to Debbie or myself. We're happy to go over this more in detail. Debbie's got some great scripts for all of our Century 21 Homestar agents. Contact Debbie for those, or go on 21 Online in our university. There's a link for scripts on there too. So there's another option, and that's it. So thanks for joining us today. Thanks for all your support and your hard work. And remember, we're here for you if you need us. Have a great day and a great weekend.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.